Good morning, Marshy here with another newsletter wrap-up video edition of AI versus Marshy. And I thought I would start with a bit of a laugh. This morning there was a bit of a trimming accident with my beard, and my beloved partner Georgie, she hasn't seen me without a beard yet. And so I went into the lounge room and showed her, and she was like, and so that's how my day started. But let's get into it because the 25th edition shows no signs of slowing as AI continues to progress. And I wanted to share a publication that was published in Nature magazine. I found it in an MIT technology review. And essentially, Google's DeepMind has a tool called GNOME. GNOME lets you simulate the environment for creating and structuring different elements in their periodic table. Now, science is not my bag, and this chart is definitely not my bag either. But from my understanding, what it means is it can simulate various combinations of elements that aren't practical. 2.2 million new structures were created, and of those, 700 were able to move into lab. And so come from the simulation that the AI tools ran, and then into a lab with robot arms and create new things. So like I've got wood here, metal and plastic here. This is a new thing. I struggle to wrap my head around it, but it's an interesting use case of AI because while mainstream or most people who have sort of followed the charting of GPT and conversational and language learning models, the real mind-blowing use cases are actually beyond just chat interfaces and being able to create new things. That's pretty cool, I would say. A completely different tack. Founder of Coach Fox AI, Jody Cook, tweeted recently about a bit of a calendar hack. Snapshot your calendar and then get ChatGPT to say, what can go, what perhaps could create some space, etc. I just, for a laugh, chucked mine in. My calendar's pretty thin because the last week of work next week, but it noticed post yoga that it might be a good time to a serene time to focus on high value work. Well, thanks for picking that up. The last thing I wanted to share is a really excellent piece from Ben's Bytes. Ben Tossell, I reference him a lot. He has an amazing newsletter called Ben's Bytes, and he talks about AI coding. And if you look at this, search volume coding over time exploded. GitHub Copilot has led the charge, exploding. And for coders, it makes your job infinitely better, right? But even for non-coders like me, I've noticed that you can actually figure things out and brute force things through with a bit of pseudocode and Q&A with ChatGPT or something else. And the reason why I love this so much is because one of the challenges of learning to code is the frustration that comes when you hit a snag and have no idea how to solve for it, and then you go searching for the answer. But because you're searching for answers that aren't tailored to you, there's a lot of assumed knowledge in any sort of walkthrough that's not in your own language. And so with these tools, you can sort of work it out as you go or learn in other ways. And Ben's got some great ideas like a course designed for coding with AI tools. I really like this one. It's what he did with MakerPad, a YouTube channel copying mini tools and showing how to build them with code and AI. So for example, if you wanted to build a mini link tree, you could potentially do that with code and AI. And so that's a pretty cool example, I feel. I did send my newsletter late last night because I was in Sydney for a day trip with a client, but I'm thinking of doing like an end of year wrap up, a newsletter. I've done this when I've had other versions of my newsletter, and it usually goes pretty well. So stay tuned for that next week or two. Subscribe to lukemarshall.net/newsletter if you'd like to be the first to know. Otherwise, I'll see you next week with probably my last video for the year. Bye.